Okay. And again, this is Jar Bond from the...
Make the decision now to trust in Jesus.
You got it?
Jesus Christ.
You got it?
The Son of God was sent to earth.
You good?
Years ago, human form here on this earth. He was tempted.
Come on, Bob.
With the perfect life. It's incredible. Never sinned. He was
It was zoomed too far.
And again, this is Jar Bond from the Predatory Lending Network, and we're on here because it's Toyota has had a recall and going through some tough times with its business. Now we're here with famed international investor and world traveler Indiana Jones. Now Indiana, how is the Toyota recall of its various parts affecting you and your investments in Japan?
Well, I'm primarily a fan of Ford. That's what I drive, and that's what I am. But it's negative for the industrialized society in general. It's a downer for everybody and anybody that's got money over there.
Now, it's said that that Toyota's fix for their car isn't really working, and there's been roughly about 60 complaints today, or in the last week or so, about the fix not working. Now, do you believe that the fix for Toyota is working, or is it just a big scam or not working for them?
I think there's enough people complaining about it already that it is for real that it's not working, and I think it represents a huge problem for Toyota because they already have experienced a major crisis in the consumer confidence, and this is just going to be something that's going to drive that into the ground.
Okay, and finally, what is your outlook for the auto sector in general?
I think it's going to be up over the next few years. It looks like the economy is recovering. Jobs haven't come back yet, but I think they will eventually. I think it's a bright future for autos, and maybe Toyota will jump on the bandwagon eventually, but it might take a few extra years because of this.
Okay, so again, this is Jar Bond from the Predatory Lending Network, talking to you about the economy.
Bye, guys. Bye. You too.
All right.
Okay. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Delson.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Hit it up again. We're going? And again, this is Jar Bond from the Predatory Lending Network, talking to you about the economy. Now, we're at the 1-year anniversary of the stock market bottom today, and Indiana, we know you're quite a world investor. Now, how has the last year been for you?
It's been rough, but actually, about a year ago, things are looking a little better now. So it's kind of on the slow road to recovery as far as investments go, from what I can see.
Now, what investments do you see that you'll be taking advantage of next year?
Maybe the recovering auto sector. Housing is definitely something that it's at the bottom right now, and I think can only go up. So you can get a lot of real estate real cheap right now.
Now, last year, what were some of the big things that you made or lost money on last year?
Probably the biggest thing was housing. I had a lot of real estate in various places I traveled. I really loved the real estate, and then it dropped down. So it's something that they told me would always go up, and now it's gone down, but I expect a recovery soon.
Now, you're a big international investor. Now, what countries or what other areas do you see doing good or not so good next year, or this coming year?
Well, the big problem looks like Greece. Any money that you put in Greece right now looks like it's going to be in big trouble. The country's about to bankrupt, and they're kind of maybe bring down the whole EU with them. So that's the big thing. It looks like maybe Dubai, maybe on the road to recovery. They had like a brief downturn, but it looks like they may be headed back up. It looks a little spotty, but I think there's money to be found.
Okay, so again, this is Jar Bond from the Predatory Lending Network, talking to you about the economy.
Do you have a card?
Okay, I gotta give you two. And again, this is Jar Bond from the Predatory Lending Network, talking to you about the economy. Now, we know the Japanese auto sector has been quite tough, and Toyota is having some issues with their recall. Now, we're around here asking some folks about the Toyota recall. Now, sir, how has the Toyota recall affected you?
Well, I do have a Toyota, but it doesn't affect me. But it's pretty disturbing that 35 people lost their lives because of a malfunction in their gas pedals.
Now, it's said that some of these problems with the brake pedals hasn't been working, and something like 60 complaints came in since the big congressional hearings and stuff. So, do you believe their Toyota's fix is actually working or not?
I don't think it's working. I think, well, they got to recall every car and redo all the brake pedals and make a better product instead of making profit.
Okay, and finally, what is your outlook for the rest of the auto sector?
Well, I hope it gets better. Hope it's Buy American then.
Okay, so again, this is Jarbon talking to you about the economy. Okay, stop that one. We're at the 1-year anniversary. So again, this is Jarbon from the Predatory Lending Network. Now, we're out here talking to folks about Toyota. Now, Bob, we know that Toyota recall has been affecting quite a few people. Now, how has the Toyota recall affected you?
Oh yeah, it did. It stopped me. It stops me from getting free rides and stuff, and traveling all back and forth, import and export, all the way from the Bikini Bottoms and back. So it affected me because it affects the economy. So I won't get enough of my Krabby Patty, and no people won't bring me no Krabby Patty free money, you know, to tip me, you know.
Now, do you think with all this stuff going on with Toyota that you'd actually buy a Toyota in the next year or so?
Oh yeah. I maybe had to buy a Toyota, but they're gonna make it much better though.
Now, there's talk that this fix that they have for the Toyota brake pedal isn't working. There's been something like 60 complaints in the last couple of weeks or so that it's not working. Do you believe that's an issue or something they can fix?
I believe it's something they can fix. Anything they can fix any foreign parts, they can fix it. So they got good technology. They're good scientists, know how to build things.
Okay, and what's your outlook for the rest of the auto sector?
Well, for the auto sector, stand in line, go fuel efficiency, and throw away all them big, huge, dumb-haul trucks that cost a diesel fuel engine that's drinkable, and making our gas pumps go higher.
Okay, so again, this is Jarbon from the Predatory Lending Network talking to you about the economy. What are we doing?
Toyota.
We're doing the Toyota one. Okay. I got 3 stories in my mind I'm trying to remember. So we rolling?
Yes.
Again, this is Jarbon from the Predatory Lending Network. Now we're here talking with famed investor Jack Sparrow from Pirate Capital. Now Jack, we understand that there's been quite a bit of trouble in Japan with the Toyota recalling all those cars and stuff. Now, how do you feel the future outlook is for Toyota?
Well, considering some of my pirates, they bought some of these machines there, they didn't come back. You know, the floor pedal sort of stuck and they sort of went off into the ocean, which was probably a good burial place for them. But regardless, I had to get a whole new crew. So it's not looking very good because, well, how much money can they spend on people dying?
Now Jack, even though many of the Toyota pedals have been said fixed, some people are still complaining that, you know, of these accelerator pedals. Now, do you think that these complaints are warranted even though Toyota has fixed their cars?
Can you fix a lemon when it's broken? Not very often.
Aren't you supposed to make lemonade out of it?
Well, aren't they supposed to make some different car out of the one that they already made because that one was a lemon?
Now, Toyota for years have had such a great reputation for quality. Now, do you think this has hurt their reputation?
Depends whether or not they handled it in a good light. You see, we all screw up, even the big company. So they can either recall all the cars and just take the loss as it is and make some new cars that are even better and get their reputation back, or they continue to put this shit on the line and they'll suffer for it because, well, hopefully these people are getting smarter, being the consumer, and they're gonna go elsewhere to find other cars.
Okay, so, and finally, Jack, what is your outlook for Toyota and the rest of the auto sector?
I think I answered that in the last question. Well, you see, if they recall their cars and they just take the loss, they're looking pretty good because, you know, they'll just come out with a much better car and Hopefully they'll keep their reputation. And if they don't recall it, well, they're just into the water, into the sea.
Okay, so again, in closing, this is Jar Bond from the Predatory Lender and
Mr. Rumsmith.
Mr. Ramsa talking to you about the economy. Okay.